Former Congolese President Joseph Kabila has returned to the Democratic Republic of Congo. After years of living in exile, his arrival marks a significant moment in the country's turbulent history. The former leader, who once held the reins of power, is now stepping back onto Congolese soil amidst a mix of anticipation and apprehension. He arrived in Goma, a city in the eastern part of the country. Goma, known for its strategic importance and its proximity to the Rwandan border, has often been at the heart of the conflict in the region. The city's streets, bustling with activity, now also carry the weight of Kabila's return. Goma is currently held by M23 rebels. The presence of these armed groups has made the region a hotspot for violence and instability. The rebels' control over Goma adds a layer of complexity to Kabila's return, raising questions about his intentions and the potential consequences for the city's residents. Kabila had been living in exile since 2023. During his time away, he resided in various countries, maintaining a low profile while political dynamics in Congo continued to evolve. His absence left a vacuum in the Congolese political landscape, one that many have been eager to see filled. He left the country after facing accusations of supporting the rebels. Kabila denies these accusations, insisting that his departure was for the greater good of the nation. Despite his denials, the allegations have cast a long shadow over his political career, fueling both support and opposition among the Congolese people. His return has significant implications for the ongoing conflict in Congo. The nation has been plagued by violence and unrest for years, with various factions vying for control. Kabila's presence could either be a catalyst for peace or a trigger for further conflict, depending on how the situation unfolds. Kabila's return has been met with mixed reactions. Some Congolese citizens are hopeful, seeing his return as a chance for stability and progress. Others, however, remain skeptical, fearing that his presence could reignite old tensions and lead to more violence. Some see it as a positive step towards peace. They believe that Kabila, with his experience and influence, can play a crucial role in negotiating with the rebels and other factions. These optimists hope that his return will pave the way for dialogue and reconciliation. They believe he can use his influence to negotiate with the rebels. His past connections and understanding of the political landscape could be instrumental in brokering peace deals and bringing an end to the violence that has plagued the region for so long. Others are wary of his motives. They question whether Kabila's return is driven by a genuine desire to help the country or by personal ambitions. This skepticism is rooted in the complex and often murky world of Congolese politics, where alliances and loyalties can shift rapidly. They fear his return could further destabilize the region. The presence of armed groups and the fragile state of peace make the situation highly volatile. Any misstep could lead to a resurgence of violence, putting countless lives at risk. The situation is complex and uncertain. The return of a former leader to a conflict-ridden region is fraught with challenges and potential pitfalls. The people of Congo are watching closely, hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. Kabila's presence is a wild card. His actions in the coming days and weeks will be crucial in determining the future trajectory of the region. Will he be a force for peace or a harbinger of further conflict? Only time will tell. Only time will tell what impact his return will have on Congo's future. The nation stands at a crossroads, with the potential for both great progress and devastating setbacks. The world watches as Congo navigates this critical juncture in its history. The eastern region of the Democratic Republic of Congo has been plagued by conflict for decades. This area, rich in natural resources, has become a battleground for various armed groups vying for control. The lush, dense forests and rugged terrain provide the perfect cover for these groups, making it difficult for the government to maintain order and security. Numerous armed groups operate in the area. These groups, often with shifting alliances, engage in brutal skirmishes and guerrilla warfare. Their presence has created a climate of fear and instability, disrupting the lives of millions of civilians. They fight over land, resources, and power. The fertile land and abundant mineral wealth, including gold, diamonds, and coltan, are highly coveted. Control over these resources can mean immense wealth and influence, fueling the ongoing violence. The M23 is one of the most powerful rebel groups. Formed by former soldiers, the M23 has a well-organized structure and significant military capabilities. They have been able to capture and hold territory, challenging the authority of the Congolese government. It has been accused of human rights abuses, Reports of massacres, sexual violence, and forced recruitment of child soldiers have been widespread. The civilian population bears the brunt of these atrocities, living in constant fear and uncertainty. The M23 has been fighting the Congolese government for years. Despite numerous attempts at peace talks and ceasefires, the conflict persists. Government forces, often under-equipped and poorly trained, struggle to regain control and protect the population. The conflict has displaced millions of people. Families are forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge in overcrowded camps. These camps, often lacking basic necessities, become breeding grounds for disease and further suffering. It has also caused a humanitarian crisis. Aid organizations struggle to provide food, clean water, and medical care to the displaced population. The scale of the crisis overwhelms the available resources, leaving many without the help they desperately need. The United Nations has peacekeeping forces in the region. These forces are tasked with protecting civilians and supporting the government in restoring order. However, their efforts are often hampered by the complex and volatile nature of the conflict. However, they have struggled to contain the violence. The sheer number of armed groups and the challenging terrain make it difficult to achieve lasting peace. Despite their presence, clashes and attacks continue, leaving the local population in a perpetual state of insecurity. The conflict is fueled by a number of factors. These include poverty, ethnic tensions, and historical grievances. The lack of economic opportunities and basic services exacerbates the situation, driving more people to join armed groups as a means of survival. And the illegal exploitation of natural resources. The lucrative trade in minerals funds the activities of armed groups, perpetuating the cycle of violence. Efforts to regulate and control these resources have been largely ineffective, allowing the conflict to persist.
The situation here is dire. The constant threat of violence and the lack of security make everyday life a struggle. People live in fear, not knowing when the next attack will come or if they will be able to find food and shelter. We are fighting for our lives, for our families, and for our future. The resilience of the people is remarkable, but the toll of the conflict is evident in their faces and their stories. They hold on to hope, even in the darkest of times. The government has failed us, and we have no choice but to take up arms. With no other means to protect themselves and their loved ones, many have joined the fight, hoping to bring about change and secure a better future for their children.
Current Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi has accused former President Joseph Kabila of supporting the M23 rebels, a notorious armed group that has been causing unrest in the region for years. Tshisekedi claims that Kabila is providing these rebels with weapons and funding, enabling them to continue their violent activities and destabilize the country. According to Tshisekedi, Kabila's actions are a deliberate attempt to undermine his government and create chaos, making it difficult for the current administration to govern effectively. In response to these allegations, Tshisekedi has called for Kabila to be held accountable for his actions, urging the international community to take notice and support his efforts to bring stability to the region.
President Tshisekedi is determined to bring stability to our nation, emphasizing that holding those responsible for the unrest accountable is a crucial step in this process. He believes that addressing these accusations head-on and ensuring justice is served will help restore peace and order in Congo. These accusations are serious, and we must investigate them thoroughly to uncover the truth and ensure that those responsible are held accountable.
On the other hand, Joseph Kabila denies these accusations vehemently, stating that he has no involvement with the M23 rebels and has always been committed to peace in Congo. Kabila claims that his focus has always been on fostering unity and stability in the country, and he has no interest in supporting any group that would disrupt this peace. He says that he wants to play a constructive role in resolving the conflict and is willing to cooperate with any investigations to clear his name. Kabila's supporters believe that the accusations against him are politically motivated, arguing that Tshisekedi is using these claims to sideline a powerful political rival. They say that Tshisekedi is trying to eliminate competition and consolidate his power by discrediting Kabila, creating further division and tension within the country. Joseph Kabila has played a significant role in Congolese politics for many years. He became president in 2001, following the assassination of his father, Laurent Kabila. Laurent Kabila was also president of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Joseph Kabila led Congo through a period of war and instability. He was able to negotiate a peace agreement in 2003, which officially ended the Second Congo War. However, the eastern part of the country remained volatile. Kabila remained in power for 18 years.
There have been numerous attempts to resolve the conflict in eastern Congo.
And the deployment of peacekeeping forces. Ceasefires. These efforts have included peace talks.
However, none of these efforts have been entirely successful.
In recent months, there have been renewed efforts to find a peaceful solution. Representatives from the Congolese government and the M23 rebels met in Qatar in early April 2025. The talks were mediated by the Qatari government.
However, no agreement was reached.
Kabila's motives for returning to Congo are unclear. Some believe he is genuinely interested in promoting peace. They argue that he wants to use his influence to persuade the M23 rebels to lay down their arms. They point to his history of negotiating peace agreements.
Others are more skeptical. They believe Kabila is seeking to regain power. They argue that he is using the conflict in the east to undermine President Tshisekedi. They fear his return will only exacerbate tensions and lead to more violence. The situation in eastern Congo is extremely fragile. The ceasefire between the government and the M23 rebels is tenuous. There have been numerous violations by both sides. The return of Joseph Kabila adds another layer of complexity. His presence could either help or hinder peace efforts. It is still too early to say what the long-term impact of his return will be. The conflict in eastern Congo has significant international implications. The region is rich in natural resources. These resources include gold, diamonds, and coltan. Coltan is used in the manufacture of electronic devices.
Neighboring countries, including Rwanda and Uganda, have been drawn into the conflict. They have been accused of supporting different armed groups. The international community has a vested interest in seeing peace restored to the region.
The future of the Democratic Republic of Congo remains uncertain. The return of Joseph Kabila has added a new dimension to the ongoing conflict in the east. It is unclear what role he will play in the country's future. The Congolese people are tired of war. They deserve peace and stability. The international community must continue to support efforts to find a lasting solution to the conflict. Only then can the Democratic Republic of Congo begin to heal and rebuild.